Hey Starcrafters, Wookie here. Thanks for tuning in, and today we're having fun on the 2v2 ladder. This is my buddy Mortious, and you may remember, you probably don't, but he was featured in my very first StarCraft video a long time ago. You can go watch it if you want to, but it's pretty bad, so you might not want to. And this is me over here. I'm playing Terran. Mort is protoss, of course, and our opponents today are the Terran player Galpy, and his partner is Critical. I think that's supposed to be some variant of critical. So there's the production tab that's open for you, and if it gets too crowded, I'm going to close that out, of course. We're going a little bit faster, just because that is better for your viewing experience, I believe. It'll get us through it a little faster. Now, what we're doing here today is you're going to watch Mortious go pretty hardcore on Zealots. You can see he's opening 3 gates right off the ding-dong, and he's going to start making Zealots. I am going Barracks. You can see I take 2 gas pretty early, and you'll watch me go straight into a factory and then a starport. And what we do is Mortious makes Zealots constantly as fast as he can until I get a tank with siege mode and 1 medevac. And then we push out. And of course I try to make Marines constantly while that's all going down. And we see our opponents are fortunately playing pretty standard. And it's a good thing too, because we didn't really scout at all. So thankfully they didn't go super fast into something tricky. But here we've got some 3 racks pressure. Pressure. I don't think he's going to pressure, but there's 3 racks into a factory, and it looks like he's taking a quick expo. No, faster than normal, I guess. And it looks like they might be camp in the middle, getting ready to move out. Now here is finally a scout from Mortious. Where did it go? There it is. No, it's from me, because I'm blue. And we are just about ready. There we go. Let's slow it down. You can see I did just this. The medevac just popped out. And now here's the Zealots on the move, and he was able to make quite a few Zealots. And I think we saw him coming. Did we see him coming? Yeah, we saw him coming. We're like, they're pushing, so we backed off. And tank on the high ground is always good. These are standard Marines, no upgrades. Accidentally have some in the medvac. There they go, and Mortious does a nice job of running these Zealots around. And I mean, he's got so many of them. Oops. Sorry about your Marauder, bro. That was awesome. And the tank up here to cover this ground, and Mort's Zealots are able to push those guys off. We got, looks like a concussive shell timing push. 1 tank is plenty to hold off a little bioforce like that, especially with Zealots running around to chase down the stragglers. So I decide that I'm going to lift up my Marines in a medevac and go see how much damage I can do, because clearly they're all about the pressure. So since they're all about the pressure, I figured their eyes are going to be down here. Mort has to pull his probes to clean up those Marauders that are in his base, and right there pretty soon we should drop on those guys. There we go. He's got oh my god, he's got stalkers all over the place. He finally cleaned up the bio from the Terran player, but it looks like there's some stalker micro being done at the other end of the map, and not a whole lot of savior probing being done. And these are of course just basic Marines with no upgrades at all whatsoever, but down go all the probes. That guy has no probes. 5 stalkers is his whole game. He's got tons of money. No wait, that's me. He's got enough money to make a couple more, but he is hurting. He can't, he could warp in a Zealot. So I'm in pretty good shape here. Now here comes his Terran buddy to try to bail him out, and in the pipe 5x5. We are out of there. Mort finally gets his base cleaned up. He lost a lot of mining time right there, but he will get back on it pretty soon, and down goes the Twilight Council. Because the cool thing about opening up Mass Zealot like this is that it goes right into Charge Lot Archon, which is hot. That is hot as lava. So after having successfully decimated the... Actually, I didn't decimate it, I destroyed it. I believe decimate means to reduce by 10 or a factor of 10. Or maybe down to 10%. I don't know. Anyway, I just completely destroyed it. Killed every probe he had. So after that, we go into adding on racks and our upgrades, because we want to continue to pressure, and I should be expanding here pretty soon. We could probably go back to the production tab just to look. And why don't we Control A? Maybe it's Control R? Oh, this is a multiplayer game, so you won't be able to do that. That's just those fancy little tags that pop up and show you the game state are only available in 1v1s. So now I've got a few siege tanks. This one is here to protect my mineral line. I'm protecting it from drops on this side because I don't have turrets up yet. So I put the tank back here. Any drops that come in are going to land here probably. And I want the tank to be able to hit those. I'll of course box my SCVs and slap them over here, and then when the units chase, the tank is there. So that was my thinking there. We have Mortious getting back on his mining. Has he expanded yet? No, he has not. You can see that the charge is almost done, and a little bit of just camping. Now our Terran player is doing all right, but our Protoss opponent is hurting pretty hard. So that's good on us. We like that. And let's hit the plus button until something exciting happens like this. Look at, there's that medevac going out again. I believe I switched medevacs because the one took a little bit of damage, and then an SCV probably healed him up. But let's go back to units just to look there. You can see what exactly is going on, and my medevac should be making its way over this way pretty soon. Only 10 probes for the poor Protoss player. This guy's got 40 SCVs though, which is plenty. And you can see I'm working on my Marine Marauder medevac and tanks, which is a nice combo, I think. And here come these Marines, veterans of many, maybe not, they don't have a whole lot of kills. These must be different Marines. But there they go, and of course Stim is finished now, so now all of a sudden it's 27 SCVs. Let's get a few more kills. 25 SCVs, so I cut his production in half and didn't really take any damage. I got to see what his army composition was. All in all, really good. I did not know he was on 2 bases, but we are pretty much killing it right now. This is all good stuff. And there's Mort taking his 2nd base and working on them charge lots. He is got 21 of those bad boys. Wow. Nice job, dude. And they're already at level 2 attack, so cool. And looks like Templar Archives is coming down. Yeah, Templar Archives is coming down. Here comes the ship home. So all the Marines are back in the base. Here's the guys with a couple of kills. And in the Army tab, we are probably way ahead. Yeah, we are. We had, although this Terran guy's got 129 supply. That's pretty good. But this is gonna go our way unless we really screw it up. So, and Mort and I, by the way, are personal friends, so we're on Skype and colluding, totally colluding in a way that is completely fair. You can see expansion coming down here, and finally Archon's underway for Mortious, and this is going to work out pretty well for us, guys. I really like this strategy. One, because it doesn't involve Zerglings or Mutalisks, which feels kind of cheap when you win with those. And you can see the expansion coming down there. Whatever that thing is, because I don't play Terran, I don't know. Pre-com-sat, whatever. And you see I moved out checking for an expansion there. And even though my army might not be the largest one in the game, because this guy is clearly kicking it in that regard, you can see that it's better upgraded, I think, 1-1 versus 2. Alright, so maybe not. But, you know, maybe the comp was better, I don't know. But the nuke goes down. That was not my nuke. That was the Terran opponent's nuke. What's his name? Galpy's nuke. And the Protoss guy, Circuit, is just now getting back into it. He's finally got Colossus up. But once Mortious' charge lots and Archons get into this thing, it's kind of one-sided, because those charge lots are 1, 2, and everything goes down. And from here, I'm going to speed this up to 4 times, because it does take a little while. I'm rallying everything up to here, but this worked pretty well for us. And the idea, of course, the idea is you get 1 siege tank, 1 medevac, you camp outside the ramp, you siege up, and you start shelling things. The zealots fish units out. If they don't come attack the siege tanks, you're going to shell their front line and do a whole bunch of damage, while you use that medevac to drop marines into the back and kill off the mineral line of at least 1 player. Because if they don't go try to save their probes, they lose at the front, and if they win at the front, they've lost all their probes. Of course, these guys were a little bit aggressive in the beginning and moved out with just a handful of units, and the siege tank was done. Mort had a bunch of zealots, so we just defended first and then kind of countered a little bit later. But worked out pretty well for us, and so well in fact that we tried it again in our very next game. And here's the end of this game right there. I did skip a bit of it because it was just us blowing up their base. And so that was me and Mortious beating Circuitol, Critical, and Galpy. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, so what happens next is we get into our next game. This is these are our placement games, and our opponents are a Protoss named Exclusive and a Terran player named Mac, whose connection was pretty slow, by the way. So we got Protoss Terran. We're trying the same thing again. So here's 1 siege tank, 1 medevac, some marines, and a bunch of zealots. And these guys decided that they would defense up. We can see Mac is doing the same thing I'm doing, except he's just doing marine tank. He doesn't have the medevac. So here comes Mortious with a forward pylon, and they're just kind of letting us shell their front. And, you know, NBD, and I've got my stuff here is all rallied out. Hopefully, thank you. It's all rallied out here to the settling point, and we just try to advance slowly. I really should be like dropping his mineral lines. I don't know why I'm not doing that. That's like part of the thing. Maybe Mort and I are just chit-chatting about like, chicks or something. I don't know. I get that tank way too close to the cannon and barely managed to save it. That was a faux pas. Cost me a mule to fix that guy up. So Mort gets a little impatient and runs his zealots in trying to fish out the units, but the guys are smart and they pull it back. So he ends up losing a lot of zealots, but he's working on or trying to get charge. He will be trying to get charge. Is he getting it yet? Doesn't look like it. But he really wants those to be charge lots before he goes running into those tanks like that. And I must be at home expanding or something. There we go, working on some macro because nothing was happening. But I decided I'm going to spot this ridge with my medevac and start shelling there, and that's going to force their hand. That's what I want. I want them to have to come out because I've got 4 tanks, and sure, they're going to hit one side of it, but we should be able to break it, which we do, especially because this Protoss guy built so many cannons. Now, then comes Void Rays. And, I mean, somebody, if you get more than one Protoss player in the game, you know there's going to be Void Rays. So that was not really a surprise. We're just kind of crappy that it happened before we really had a chance to start crushing, because I should have been dropping mineral lines and I didn't. Oh well, I take that back. I did try to sneak around and I cut this off, but there wasn't much there. It hadn't had a chance to get saturated or produce a whole lot. I really should be cutting this off. So over here, Void Rays are tearing up tanks and charge lots, but we're just trying to get the damage in while we build up a solution for Void Rays at home. I even built a turret out here because I thought that would be cool. And, oh no! Don't fix the oh. Well, here come the Vikings. Transition into Vikings a little bit. I did go tech lab here, thinking when I saw the tanks, thinking that Banshees would be the way to go. But now there's But now there's Void Rays in the mix, and it's gonna have to be all about the Void Rays. So these charge lots are putting in a lot of work, getting some damage done. But you know, a couple of Vikings versus a bunch of charged up Void Rays is not gonna do a whole lot. And I knew that, and I probably shouldn't have tried, but. You know, whatever. And I'm just making Marines because apparently I'm terrible at Terran, and I only make that analysis because I'm looking at, oh, that's not me, okay, this is me, alright. No, I'm not insinuating that Mac is terrible at Terran. His situation is far different from mine. He is only capable of making Marines given the buildings that he has. But exclusive here is pretty good, and in the post-game score screen, he had the hot score. And he takes this, without finding this pylon, he manages to take the gold and turn this into a really long game. My scouting Vikings find that, and his scouting Nexus finds my Vikings, and they're able to bring all their stuff up here and take those out. So that's kind of a bummer. You can see my... No, that's not my food. Never mind. Hold on. My food's kind of low. I'm going Ghost because Ghosts are pretty cool. They attack the front, and somehow we manage to not totally die here. I'm not sure what it was. I mean, I did put some turrets down, and like we're running 2 stalkers in at a time. And like, oh, here's some Marines. Send them in one at a time. I think I had a single turret there. It was pretty horrible. I mean, this is just a handful of Marines trying to hold off against all these. And 2 stalkers. Finally, the Thor's out. And, you know, criminy. That was pretty brutal. So, a good exchange there. And everybody's back to square one. We've got 4 Void Rays and 19 Marines. I've got 9 Marines, a Thor, a Ghost. Poor Mort has 1 Stalker. So then it's kind of like an arms race. We kind of all just sit back and build up. I'm adding on because finally I have an economy. So I start building that up. Oh, and here they come. Here they come. And it's a mothership. Because that doesn't complicate anything. So now we gotta fight invisible Void Rays, and they get all charged up, and it's just horrible. And we are completely devastated. This is not going well. But it didn't do a whole lot of damage. Took out just enough shields and did just enough damage for a quick and easy cleanup on the rest of it. So saved by a timely nuke there that didn't hit dead on, but it hit pretty close. And remember, we know that this is here. And we were talking about it too. It was like, we got to do something about that gold. And oh, look what's happening up here. Captain Sneaky Pants working the back door. Ooh, not working the back door. Stim Marines now. Notice the Artosis pylon and go for that. So that was pretty hot. Gets rid of the fleet beacon and you know, deep unpowers 2 of those Stargates. Slows down production a little bit. Able to just churn through those Marines because my upgrades is upgraded and his weren't. Decide that got to get that medevac out of there. The Marines are sacrificial, but a scout was able to determine that carriers were en route, because that changes everything, right? Instead of mass void array, it will be mass carriers. Oh, that changes everything. And now I'm desperate to expand because you notice my main is empty. And Mortious has got this going on, but it's pretty unprotected. He's done in his main. He's doing a good job of keeping up on his production. Now he is making the carriers. Floating a little bit of minerals and gas, but it's alright. Mortious is I want to say a low-level player, or at least an inexperienced player. Hasn't been doing a lot of laddering. Played StarCraft 2 a little bit when it was first out, but has mostly not been playing it. So I'm just sending a ghost out to look around. It looks like we're in a little bit of a build-up phase again. There's a bunch of Marines. This exclusive guy is totally whooping our butt as far as income goes. Where's the maybe the APM tab or the EPM tab? But oh, what happened here? What happened here? They forgot detection. Oh, I love when that happens. Oh no. And look at all those busted up carriers. Dude, your carrier's all scorched. What's going on? Oh, that was so satisfying. Especially because I don't play Terran often. So when they can land a nuke, that is just the fun stuff. So knowing there's carriers and void rays everywhere, I park my void rays and a few Marines over here. I think, is everything rallied? Yeah, still rallied here at home base, but Mortius's mothership is up. And it looks like my boy Exclusive decides that he's had enough of my shenanigans over here. Actually, he may not have known that was there and just now discovered it. I've got a ton of turrets, but unfortunately they start attacking the interceptors instead of the important things. By the time I get over here and start, focus firing this with the void rays, and I'm actually trying to click on these and focus fire the mothership, but they won't reach, etc. He's just got too much stuff. I mean, sure, I can see it, but I don't have anything over here to blow it up. He doesn't exactly have them highly upgraded, but not doing bad. And I don't even get the mothership. This dude is, I guess he's a reporter. As for the Daily Journal, and he's just gonna tell everybody what happened if he makes it out of there alive. Don't shoot, man. Don't shoot. Press, don't shoot. So that was kind of a bummer because now my income is nothing. And when you can't make stuff, it gets hard to win. And a carrier fleet, especially an invisible carrier fleet, is a pretty dangerous thing because unless you've got a carrier fleet of your own, and then once that fleet is gone, once the mothership is gone, this the opposing carrier fleet can actually see the carrier fleet, and then the carrier fleet can be killed. And what a complete reversal of fortune there. That worked out so totally in our favor when it started. When that exchange started, it really didn't look like it was going to work in our favor. So we had seen a base here, if I recall. I don't remember seeing it while watching this game. I thought we had seen a base here, and I was like, let's go kill that base. But instead, we're going to nuke this, and can I get 3 nukes off in one game? Can I get... No, it was 4 probes, but what the hell, that was cool. And then it's in for the kill. And Max Marines come around to try to do a little cleanup, and they're moderately successful. They did clean it up, but it wasn't really there. Mac leaves the game, and Mortious and I, with our invisible army, are able to come in here and wipe out this, and he's got nothing there, and he's got nothing mining there, and he's got nothing mining here. Well, okay, just a very little bit mining there. And that was a pretty decent turnaround. Exclusive says, good game, guys, great game. And I agree, that was a whole lot of fun. It took 42 minutes, so we went through it kind of fast. But again, opening with the 111 Mass Zealot, and that didn't win us the game, but it did put us in a position to win the game later because I was able to drop the mineral line and cut a bunch of production. So cool thing. Oh, and then after this, guess what happened? After that game, we got into another PT versus PT against awesome team, the Protoss, and Unit Foxhound, the Terran guy, and we push out with our 111 and a bunch of zealots, and the Hellion advanced scouts see what is going on and totally freak out. They're like, whoa! So there goes the seal in, and he expanded quickly. He was hoping to get some pressure with those Hellions and expand, it looks like, and I see that and decide that I'm going to go right over there. Now he moves everything away from the front, which is perfect for when the zealots run in. I get a couple of Marines cooked, but I'm able to clear out and save most of them, and now we've got it working like it's supposed to work, with the zealots fishing units out and the tank there to shell them. We had the drop in the back. I ended up coming down here to harass that, and all the units are rallied into the tank. So here comes tank number 2. Got a ton of zealots. Medevacs heal zealots, by the way, if they're friendly. So that also works in our favor. Very nice. Our Protoss guy over here, would he go 4-gate? Yeah, he's on 4-gate forge, and looks like he wanted to do something here, but he's probably had to spend too much. Oh no, he's just starved on gas. He's got plenty of money. So now they decide they're going to try to make their push, but see, when they engage on the ramp like that, 2 tanks knocked them. All I got to do is keep whatever can, you know, spot the high ground here alive, and the tanks are going to be able to just pepper that and do a ton of damage. You know, Mort's down to 3 zealots, but you know, we've still got 2 tanks. As long as the tanks are alive and they don't have anything in the air, we're going to be fine. So that's what we're seeing there, and this one I think worked out better than the previous. There's a forward pylon coming in from Mort, so he can quick reinforce and build up his zealot count pretty high. Oh, look, another tank. Move him in just a little bit closer to be able to shell all this, because that's where the zealots are doing their damage. And you can see in the background we've got an expansion coming down. I've added on a couple of racks. Everything's rallied out there. I'm gonna put down a tech lab, everything except that, of course. I'm gonna put down a tech lab pretty soon and get stim going. Mort is on 3 racks, or 4-gate rather, and you know, that's all on fire and stuff is burning, and stalkers are trying to kite zealots, and although they both have an economy still, which is bad. I wish I could have dropped again, and I should. I think my Marines were getting toasted, yeah, because they did manage to do some damage, but keeping the pressure on now that the front has been broken. The tanks roll in, and once they go, here we go, there we dropped. I was able to help those zealots in the back, and these guys, for a while anyway, were following around the zealots to keep them healed up, which is cool. And you know, even though my Marines get taken out eventually, it allowed me to establish this here. You know, that's just gonna do wonders. Now he's got no money. I mean, he's got a bunch banked, but he's not making any. He's not making any money, and it's kind of a bad way for those guys. That doesn't work so well. So there's the GG on that, and the zealot 111 triumphs again. Guess what happened next? We got into another game. This time it's Lalo, a Terran player, and Peporn, a Zerg player, and here we are pushing out with our medevac, our tank, a handful of Marines. I'm really light on Marines that time, so I must have flopped the build just a little bit. And we get up here and we see some creep being spread out there. Get the tanks set up a little too far back, and I run my Marines. I'm trying to get them into that medevac so I can go harass the mineral line. Tank is too far back. I want to be able to hit this stuff, so I get it a little closer, just close enough. We've got Mass Roach and Marauder, so this one's going to be a little rough. Where's the medevac? I think I left it up here. Why did I do that? Probably because I didn't have enough Marines. So that really, like, I really needed more Marines here. You can see for the army tabs, they've got more stuff. So this is not ideal already. Let's get this second tank sieged up. There we go. Finally getting it moving. Actually, I think it auto moved, but that totally needs to be sieged up. And most of the zealots are dead by the time I get that second tank sieged up. And now it's roaches for days. And you'll notice that Lalo got a tank pretty early too. And oh, save that tank, man! Save that tank. All right. Let's drop a, there you go. Drop a mulage. So now we're trying to press the advantage because, you know, technically this is still working, but Mort is pretty light on zealots. And we haven't done any economic damage yet. It's just all been unit damage. And part of the key of this 111 mass zealot is to get these guys, can't remember what they're called, these guys, into these guys and drop them, like, say, over here and kill these guys. And totally did not do that. Tried to just roll it in the front. You can see Mort is out of zealots and I'm out of tanks, and we're, you know, not making it happen. It was a good hold. You know, we had just won our first 3 placement matches, so a good hold by these guys who were slightly better, and we were unable to secure that advantage. Now, still making it, you know, still trying to make it work. Should have probably called it for this, but big failure was not trying to get back here and kill these guys. And I find it's harder to wreck mineral lines against Zerg because, one, they get the vision with the creep, they see it coming a second earlier, and they've got that queen sitting there all the time, which is just annoying. So I should have tried to drop this and kill some of these guys, but you can see we're kind of camping out here in the front, and Mort goes in again with charge lots. But look, did you see that? Look what happened there. The Mutalisk. This was way back here. Neither of us saw it, and the Mutas come out, and we've got Zealot. You know, Zealot tank is kind of our thing. That's what we're doing with a, you know, a handful of Marines. And since I had lost most of my Marines, this whole Mutalisk thing is going to be problematic. So this is zapped a little forward in the game, 16 minutes. I want you to watch this Mutacloud. Look at the mini-map. These Mutas come in, and you know, he's got a handful of them now, and man, I hate these things. Like, Marines are kind of, you know, imbalanced. Man, not when they're trying to chase down Mutalisks. So watch this mini-map. Watch these things. They start poking and popping. You know, I get a Thor out. I get some Marines. I'm like, I have to build turrets behind the mineral line before I can expand there. I tried to sneak one out here hoping he wouldn't find it, and these things just started harassing and did not stop most of the game. Like, brief breaks here, like to just, you know, pull in some reinforcements. I'm gonna go ×8 because this game actually drags on for a little while. But once the mutas hit the field, here they come again. And there's like a bunch of damage. And I've got, you know, like 3 Marines, yay. And Mort, bless his little heart, gets blink, and thus starts the dance macabre as we try to track down these mutas and figure out where they are. And you can see I'm triple expanding because I had saved up a bunch of money. And by saved up, I mean, you know, macroed poorly and thus accumulated a ton of money. So I'm trying to keep it all spent. They're totally, look at this, talk about Marine Marauder medevac. Oh my goodness. So he just runs over here, taps this, or probably coming up here to tap the tower, and is like, what the? What the? By the time I get over here, I'm like, oh, box them, repair, they're all dead. And so begins the descent into loserhood. But, you know, these guys were a little bit better, and the Zerg player was able to get some roaches out early, which put the kibosh on the pressure. We let him get the mutas out and did no economic damage with that push, and that's key to the push, is to get that economic damage in. You gotta make your opponents choose whether to defend the front and lose their drones, or defend their drones and lose their front. And then usually, if you know, it doesn't matter which way you win. If you win here, you win. If you win here, you win. So, you know, and we didn't do that this game, and that's why it goes on forever, but we eventually lose. And why is it still going on? Oh my goodness. Look at that muted cloud. Those bastards. God, I hate mute lists. I think we eventually kill him all. Was he down to 3? That's the unit station say. You know, he's got 10. He must have popped. I got a bunch to pop out. But, yeah, there they are. Oh, now it's Zerglings. And then he goes Zerglings, and oh, by the way, there's Marine Marauder tearing up our mains, and then it's just all Zerglings from there. And I really think that guy should have just done Zerglings early. I mean, if he had done this early on, we would have been so done. But that, you know, so we had 4 games under our belt, and after that, there's only one more to get placed. So guess what happened? I'll tell you what happened. We got into a game versus Outlier and Mr. Poo Poo, both of whom Zerg players, and both of whom kind of know what they're doing. If you just look at his Overlord placement, it's pretty good. They're pushing out with Ling Roach and making Banelings. Here's my first medevac. Just popped. You can see I did a little better on Marine production that time. Mort doing his usual excellent job making Zealots. And we decide we're going to push out. And I think we see... Yep. I think we see what is happening. And so I decide we're just going... I scanned is what happened. And so we decide we're just going to... Well, that's normal speed. We're going faster. So we decide we are just going to wait and defend the push because we see Ling Banling Roach. It's like no sense running out there and getting surrounded by that. So I decide to send Mr. Medevac out for his... oh wait, I'm sorry, that's Captain Sneaky Pants. Try to send him around the edges of the map to go do some economic damage. But look at these guys just cranking out the units. The unit tab shows that they have like roaches and banelings, 33 lings, you know, and we're kind of not doing that well as far as units go. I mean, we've got a couple. I've got a couple of tanks. I'm floating a lot of money because I'm locked in and my macro is not real great. Now I'm dropping here and doing some economic damage, but you know, he gets the drones pulled and he starts kiting me with the queen. And what am I going to do? Stand there and shoot buildings? Those things take forever to fall, and they're just going to regenerate. And you know, the roaches that spawned right there would be enough to kill me off. So I got to bugger out. I disrupt the mining for a little bit, but very few drone kills. And he is right back at it. The Zerglings come home just to make sure that everything is cool. And they got expansions on the way. And looks like they are moving back just a little bit. And so, you know, right away, straight from the ding dong, luckiest Zergling ever. But right off the bat, you know, they have thwarted this Zealot 111 with, look at those sweet little cricket wings. Wow, say cricket wings. Say cricket wings real fast. So they've thwarted our 111 already, and now we're just like, okay, you know, macro up, go into second mode, and I'm thinking, you know, given what they had, I'm thinking Banshees would be the thing to do, right? Let's see how that works out. These guys, what we got, the M tab. So you can see they're a little bit better. Where's the A tab? Supplies, me and Mort are on the lowish side compared to them, but did you see my Banshees go out and fly right by all those overseers or overlords and get totally made? And now he's got Mutas and Mutas again, man. It's like, make Mutas beat Wookiee. I just don't understand. But you know, 2 stalkers aren't going to hold off those Mutas for very long. I decided, well, I may as well just go take these things and try to go do some damage with them, because you know, the Muta are going to own them. And here come the Marines. They get out their Muta brooms, and you know, they're able to sweep them away for a little bit. But then I get over here, and I had these guys on an attack command, and I run into this, and I'm running out of cloak energy, and So they stopped to attack that stuff, which is not what I wanted. I wanted them to go in and try to do, damage to the base. So I lost like 3 of those. These Muta are giving us fits, and because these are Zerg players, they're just good at macro. I guess Zerg players tend to be, pretty strong at macro because you have to be in order to play Zerg, which is probably why I should play more Zerg. But look at that. I need lol, and all of a sudden we don't have any workers. Mort is down to 2 workers, and I've got 23, and I've got to build a bunch of turrets, and tanks don't really shoot mutas all that well. And so this game kind of goes the way of the last game, where the Zerg players were able to hold off our first rush. These guys, stopped us from rushing just by making units a little bit faster, getting out here, forcing us to defend, and then getting the mutalisks. And this is going to be fun. Hold on. Let's see what happens. Oh, no. Don't do it. Oh, no. My life for ire. Really? Well. So there's the smoldering ruins, but on the plus side, this opens up this area now so that we can get out without having to lower supply depots, because that's so annoying. But over here is something bad, and over here that's no good, and we really just got shut down immediately by these guys. I think they were both gold level players, Mr. Poo Poo and Outlier. And there's Zerglings on the starboard bow. These roaches got what they get. Oh yeah, they got doom dropped in. And so what Mortious and I have discovered is that in matchups with non-Zerg opponents, we really like the 1-1-1 opening from the Terran with the Mass Zealot into a Zealot Archon. That's been a lot of fun, and we won all 3 games that were not involving Zerg. Zerg tends to be a little bit faster as far as creating units to defend with in the beginning, and then we found the weakness to this, of course, is if the opponents can hold it, and then they get to tech up a little faster than you do, because it's kind of one of those pushes. It's not an all-in push, but it's one of those this better work pushes. So you are encouraged to try it. It is a lot of fun. I think we're going to have to come up with a solution for Zerg opponents. Maybe do a modified version of it, or try something else entirely when there's Zerg involved. But we ended up being placed into Silver League, which isn't bad. It's where I tend to spend a lot of my time. But I know it's the first video in a while, guys, so I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you suffering through my addiction to Diablo 3, which has kept me away for a while. But hope you dig the new graphics. Mortious built this machine for me, and it's working pretty good. So I'll be around, man, and I appreciate you watching. Wookie, see you later.